I guess I should start at the very beginning. When I did start my business, I was much younger than I am now. And I had one of my client meetings at a furniture gallery. And I brought my parents with me because they needed a couch. And I was like, it's all the way out here in Mississauga. Let's all go together, right? So my parents were roaming around and eavesdropping while I was dealing with my clients. And when I was all done and my clients went home, my mother came up to me and said, that didn't really sound like you. That was professional, and you used fancy words, and you sounded like an actual designer. It was weird. I'm proud of you, but it was really weird. And I smiled and I said, well, Ma, they're not hiring the goofy person that you know at home, right? Like, I'm not walking in here with my pajamas on today. So that's perception, and the way people perceive you is your brand, right? I can't be that goofy person. No one's going to hire a designer that's walking around in her Mickey Mouse pajamas. I don't have Mickey Mouse pajamas, but anyway. So in a nutshell, I'm going to try to use this for the first time. Oh, look at that. Branding is who you are, and marketing is how you build awareness. Branding is your strategy, while marketing encompasses your tactical goals. And the word tactical is an important word. What does that bring to mind? It brings to mind, for me, like army war, right? Tactical things that are happening that are pinpointed. So tactical marketing is what's important. You don't just blast out and hope people will see your stuff. You have to know where you're going. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's call branding recognition. Where am I? Oh, too far. Okay. What people see, think, and feel when your logo appears anywhere. On your website, on your t-shirt, on your van, in your ads, on your business card, like everywhere. What do people think, and what do they feel when they see your logo? Do they feel anything? Do they think anything? Your brand is what keeps clients coming back for more, and it's the foundation upon which you build consumer loyalty. If you think about it, walking into Lululemon, any woman walks into Lululemon and puts on those magic pants that they have, suddenly feels like they've been doing yoga for 100 years, and they are gorgeous, and their butt looks amazing in these pants. Might not be true at all, right? But that's a culture. You think if you walk into that store, that your life is going to change. So what they have, and what all of these other very successful companies have, is a clear message. Their brand is a clear message. This is what we stand for. This is who we are. We have a very clear message. When you started your business, you had a vision in mind, right? So let's talk about Joe the plumber. Joe the plumber decides he's going to start his own business. He's going to be the best plumber in the entire world. Everyone's going to love Joe. He's going to get gray and brown t-shirts because they represent pipes and toilet stuff for his business. And he's just going to be like, every man and woman in a 20-kilometer radius is only going to call him to do their plumbing needs. And eventually, he'll get so many phone calls that he can hire a bunch of plumbers, and he can go sit down in his office at home, drink a cappuccino, and let all the other plumbers do the work, right? I'll just manage the affair. And it works for a while. Joe and his nice truck go to see these clients, and he's friendly, and he's clean, and they love him, and they start handing his number around, and he starts to get really busy, and then all of a sudden he's like, hold on, I need to hire some staff. So he hires Bob. Bob does not look like Joe. Bob's pants are too big, and his belt's not tight enough. Bob's business card does not exist. He's got the brown and the gray t-shirt, but his truck is a rust bucket that stinks. Like, you can smell it coming down the street. And Bob goes to one of Joe's clients, and he walks in the door, and the client's like, I can't refer Joe any more business. He's going to send this guy to my mother's house? I don't think so. And all of a sudden, what happens to Joe's business? Bang. Why? Why would that happen? Because a smarter plumber would get his act together. They would brand their business. Hire somebody to create a logo for them, right? Create a website Joe's a friendly plumber. Look at that guy. He's got a nice business card, a clipboard, a truck, a uniform. He's clean. Nobody stinks. It's not brown and gray, right? He represents the company. And every staff member for his entire plumbing company looks exactly like that guy. They all look exactly the same. They're all wearing the same uniform. They have the same clipboard, the same tools, the same clean truck. And you start to build your business. And what does that say to you? That says, hey, we're courteous, clean, and professional. And guess what? You can trust us. But how do you figure out your brand? That's a good question. It's not an easy task. And in my opinion, the most important question is, what do I want consumers to think of when they see my logo and hear my company name? Like, who are you? It's up to you. It's the culture at your workplace. It's the type of person you are. Are you formal? Are you casual? Are you a fashionista? Are you sporty? Is your company very green? Like, what is it about you? What makes you unique? And what speaks about your personality and your company? How do you want your clients to see you? Okay, so the reality is, personally, I'm usually jeans and stained t-shirts, as many of you know who have been to my house and seen what I normally look like. But my clients never see me that way, right? Because they're not, like I said, in the pajamas. They're not going to hire the jeans and the stained t-shirt professional. They want me to look nice and look the part. They don't know that I have 10-year-old twins running me ragged at home and I work 60 hours a week and I'm exhausted all the time. I have to put on my professional face. My brand, a little bit fancy but not too fancy to scare away the middle class, right? Knowledgeable but not egomaniac. Don't say anything for those of you who know me. They want somebody that makes them comfortable but is not intrusive, right? It's a fine balance. And I figured that out. I figured out my brand and what people liked about me by emailing all of my top clients and saying, hey, what do you think about me when you think about my company? What does it represent? When you're referring me business, what are you saying to people about me? I needed to know that before I rebranded 3 years ago. That was very important because those clients were my best clients. So my company, because I'm a designer, my brand and my personality, it all sounds like me, right? If you look on my website and you look at all my social media, it's all me. It's pictures of me, pictures of my work, my opinion, my written content. It's different for different kinds of businesses. Somebody who's selling widgets doesn't need their company to sound like them. They need their company to sound like widgets, right? What's a widget? I don't even know what a widget is, to be very honest with you. And they need their brand to move across regions. So, whatever it is that you're selling, you want somebody in Markham or in Ottawa to see your brand and feel and think the same thing, right? You don't want a difference in what people think and feel. So there's a few really good examples of people who are really good at branding and evoking emotion. So let's start with this one. As a Canadian, you hop into your car on a cold winter morning, and all you want is a really good cup of Canadian coffee. Where are you going? That's right. Tim Hortons is Canadian, even if it isn't anymore. Conversely, you're having a business meeting with a very fancy client who wants to go for a latte. And you've got your Rolex on and your fancy shoes and your briefcase, your leather fancy briefcase. And you're going to go meet at a coffee shop. Where are you going to go for this one? That's right, elitist coffee, right? If you're an American musician and you want the entire USA to think that you are the most American rock star in the world, does anyone over the age of 40 not know who that is? If you don't know, don't tell me. And for those of you who are under 40, it's a party in the USA, right? What, you don't know who that is? That's Miley Cyrus. She's a party in the USA, I tell you.
I know Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. What comes to mind when you see this logo? Right? Reza. Yeah. What would you expect their offices to look like? That's their brand, right? Innovative, youthful, fun, informative, nerdy genius, and everybody knows it. They even made a movie about it. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, very funny. Two funny guys. Google single-handedly changed the theory of office design, management, and culture. Everyone wants to be Google now, right? So you see, branding is your image, and it's what people think of you and expect of you, whether you're Tim Hortons or Starbucks or Google. You achieve this brand by creating a logo, spreading it across all of your company goods and your staff. Mostly you achieve it by hiring people and teaching the people that work for you to get it, to understand what you represent, who you are, what your company is. Your brand has a voice, and that voice has to carry through your staff and all of your advertising. Here's the single best branding ad on the planet. No call to action, no ask, just, hey, here we are, this is us. When you see this, what comes to mind? Right? Like everybody knows that. Who doesn't know that? So that when you have branded your business, and I feel like 11, 12, oh no, we're good. And it becomes time to market your business. It's time to, what happened? Reach your clients, right? Share your message with them. Make sure that your brand is understood, that they know what it means, and that your marketing is targeted. So how do you reach your future clients? And how do you send them your very, very clear message? You already have a website because you branded it a while ago, right? Now you're going to start a Facebook page and an Instagram page and LinkedIn and YouTube. You're going to do all these things. You're going to start all this social media business. You're going to send snail mail and email. And you're going to target your audience, and you're going to force them to see your brand. You're going to spend marketing dollars and force people to see your brand. You're going to do things like tell them you have a sale going on. You sell brooms. Look at that. You sell brooms. You sell the best brooms in the entire world. And if you buy one broom today, you get a teensy-weensy little broom for free. People have to see that. If they don't see that, how are they even going to know that you sell these brooms? Marketing is where you figure out who your clients are. Huge global companies will often use one ad to target the world. Coke is one example. Their ads show young people, old people, families, dogs, people running through meadows. It's all kinds of things, right? They want every single person in the world to know who they are. They're an American company, and if you are American and you don't drink Coca-Cola, I don't think you can leave your house down there. And everybody knows their holiday song, right? Is there a Phil here? Phil, do you know their holiday song?
Yeah, 1971. This was everywhere in the world. I'd like to teach the world to sing perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company.
Thank you, Phil. So everybody, my children know it. They redid it. They redid their song 20 years later, and it was like, I think it was on the Super Bowl. It was a huge, huge thing. That's incredible branding. Everybody knows that logo. They've created a story. They created a story that lasted 20 years and that we all still remember now. And my children, well, unfortunately now they also know the song because I've been walking around singing it for days. They want everyone alive to drink their product. They want world domination, right? So we can't afford world domination. We're not as big a company as Coca-Cola, but we need to learn from their story. So finding out who your clients are, in my opinion, is harder than figuring out your brand. I don't know about you. I have clients in all age groups. So I have young clients, sort of medium clients, and older clients. And when I'm advertising, I'm really always just afraid to leave anybody out. I want to advertise to all those people. But that doesn't really work because these people over here that are in the retired platform don't really want to do the same things as my 25-year-old clients who are just starting families, right? So how do I attack all of that? People have been saying for years that you need to target by age group. I just read this great book. I brought it to show you. It's called We Are All the Same Age Now. And it challenges the notion of advertising to age. And it does that, and I suggest that you read it. It's an amazing book. The theory instead is targeting groups by personalities and interests. So I think depending on your product, I actually think this is the best way to find your target market. Zoning in on audiences took me about three years. I went back in time and I looked at all of my best clients and I did these personality charts. Like, here's my top 20 clients and tell me all about them. Do they have dogs? Do they have kids? Are they single? Do they live in condos or houses? Are they successful executives, personal chefs? Like, what do these people do? And I made this huge chart. And then I realized that there's more than one category for me. I had people over here in my top 10, and I had people over here in my top 10. So the question is, well, how am I going to advertise to these different categories? My solution was to create more ads and target smaller audiences. Not world domination in one big ad, but in lots of little ads, right? So it's about finding out who your client base is, who you want to buy your product, and zoning in on being tactical about those people, going straight for your target. So have you ever tried a marketing campaign on Facebook? I'm pretty sure I was, aim it at the computer?
Yeah, because you don't have to.
That's where it is, okay. You can target all ages, but you can also target on Facebook, you can target specific people and specific likes. So you can target golfers or people who like dogs or people who like to travel. So when you're targeting online, you can do that. You can really, really zone in. And it's incredible. But if you haven't figured out who you are selling to, it's useless, right? So that exercise of really narrowing down your target market and figuring out who you are targeting is really important. And where to find them is also really important. So there's all these platforms. So I'm going to give you one really good example. If you are selling retirement homes or seniors cruises, you probably want your ad running on YouTube or Facebook. Because if you look over here, people from age 65 years plus are mostly on Facebook and YouTube. That's the blue or the blue-gray one, right? You look at it, you go online, there's a plethora of information, and you figure out the exact right place to target your target market. Okay, I'm being told that I'm running out of time, so I'm going to move ahead a little bit. So figuring out your target market, step 1. Step 2 is researching where to target your market. Step 3 is your message, and that's very, very important. How to get people to stop and read your post. How do you engage them? Well, that's another really long discussion, but for now, everybody in their age group knows their logo. They know what the New Yorker stands for. And these people are geniuses because you have 1.7 seconds to grab the attention of your consumer when you're posting a video. 1.7 seconds. The time it takes to sneeze to get your message across. You didn't even need that long. 12 weeks for $6. Click now. Everybody knows who the New Yorker is because they are branded. Here's another really great ad for yoga. Right? An online yoga program. They've got their target audience is their image. They're solving people's problems because they've got 1 million workouts for you to try. They're telling you they're going to give it away for 2 weeks. And it's got a very positive attitude. Find your thing with the tagline. 2 more minutes. So this is a really incredible ad because it's quick and it gets you the recognition that you want. So your job is to brand and market your company with all of your goods, all of your stationery, everything. And my personal favorite, your big, giant, rolling billboard that screams your brand out loud with all the information possible about your company. And finally, I just wanted to quickly say, okay, we got our last, this is the goodbye. This is the goodbye part, I'm done. But just before I say goodbye, I wanted to mention one more thing. There is nothing like the power of positivity in your branding and in your advertising. So when you're out there and you're solving people's pain points and creating your business and creating your advertising, people like happy. So just please remember that. Thank you very much.